Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be going over my second round game from the 7th Lake Erie Go Tournament that was held on November 5th. My opponent, Dylan Jian, is a 1-don, and I played as white, giving him 3 stones. Me and Dylan, we've known each other for a very long time at this point, and this is the second game we've played in tournament actually. The first time we played in tournament was quite some time ago, and he was only 13Q at the time, and I had to give him 9 stones. And so he's come a long way since then. So good on you, Dylan, for getting much better. But yeah, even though I'm 5-don now, and if a tournament is a bigger tournament, I get put in the open bracket where it's even games only. I actually feel most comfortable playing handicap games. So while I was very happy with my first round game against a 7-don, being able to play a 3-stone handicap game, I felt a lot more comfortable. But yeah, let's get into it. Yep, just playing back again. You might think, oh, handicap game, you got to do something, white, right? You gotta attack, but I just simply pull back, and black defends, and I approach, and black attaches on top, and I play kind of a new AI Joseki. While it's totally feasible to do something like this as white, right? Build the top. I just wanted to do something different. And here, the Joseki I know is black Hanes, I Hane back, black fixes, and then I fix. And then black has Sente. This is the kind of Joseki that I know. When black went here, I actually had never seen this move before. So I think it can be good. I think it can be good. But because I'd never seen it before, I think I kind of took it lightly and was like, oh, well, then I'll just go here then. But I think I can simply just Hane like this. Yeah, even though black can cut, even if I just extend down like this, yeah, maybe black gets these Ataris like this and this sort of thing. Pretty over-concentrated for white, but black's outside has a lot of weakness. But even if I didn't like that, I think I can just go here, and this is much better than that variation for white. So if black does the same sort of squeeze, like so, black needs to connect. If black tries to live in the corner, then cut here. Like, I guess black can start a ko like this, but at this stage of the game, there's no ko threats. Black even needs to find the first ko threat. So black probably wouldn't fight that ko this early on. So black just gives it up. Black needs to fix on the outside somehow, and then I can always come back and kill the corner. So that doesn't really work for black. So black has to connect somehow, and then white pulls back like this. So yeah, I think Atari and then extend is the way to go for white. If black just directly Hanes, I can Hane here. Even if black double Hanes, I can just connect and just connect again. So yeah, keeping a majority of the corner, and black hasn't sealed me in. So yeah, in the game, so I can Hane, I think. In the game, I simply just descend. And if looking back, it feels pretty slow to do that. Black fixes, and then pull back, or Hane. So like you can imagine if this sort of thing happened, if black connects, well now black has kind of 2 weaknesses to look out for. Black fixes here, there's the clamp here, right? There's lots of problems in black shape. But doing this one, I kind of don't force black to go at R13. In fact, black goes elsewhere. and let's say black just fixes, I wouldn't come back and just connect. I would then extend. So you can see that R17 is pretty slow. So yeah, already maybe made a questionable move, but it felt solid at the time, so I didn't hate it while I was playing. Black extends, which makes sense. So kick, and then gotta fix the shape there, and that's kind of the shape point you want to get. And then black pushes, and then fixes. So far everything makes sense so far. In fact, I feel like white's the only one that's made a mistake so far. Peep. This is simply to see how black's going to answer, because there is many ways for black to answer, and black does this one. And then I play under. Just to over-concentrate black, just treat that as a good exchange, and then go elsewhere. Let's go elsewhere. Again, later, black might not answer this the same way, so that's why I wanted to do it. So then I take the 3-3. And here, yeah, black just does the standard just hane after 2. And then just extend. But yeah, just with how AIs have shown that this wall can get harassed. Yeah, it just doesn't feel as good. So as white, basically, even if like at a human level it's probably okay, as white here, I felt okay. If black wanted to do this variation, I don't see why black didn't choose like this way even, right? Black has a lot of stones on the left side there. Why not invest in them? Sure, I'm going to come in still, but black is very solid on the left. Doing it this way kind of gives me the chance to, okay, I'll just split the bottom then. And black pincers, but again, the whole thing with this, why the old 3-3 Joseki is bad now, is this wall is now considered weak. So when I peep and jump, all of a sudden, I have taken the corner and the outside somehow. But once again, to black's credit, black plays very well here, and I do not. So black attaches, and I should just treat this lightly. I should just go elsewhere right now. It's hard for black to find an efficient and good way to attack these stones. If I didn't want to be attacked, though, I could just place maybe just a simple move like this, right? Attach, black comes up, just descend like this. But I hane, again thinking, oh yeah, when black extends, because why wouldn't he extend? Then I can go elsewhere, and that exchange is good for me. But black smartly peeps. And then, once again, oh, well, when black answers, his shape is horrible. But black, once again, smartly ignores me. So black does the thing that I always tell like my students and to do, is always ignore your opponent and never assume your opponent's going to answer you. And I failed to do that myself. So I like assumed, oh, black is going to answer this. But black was like, nope, I'm going to do my own thing. And even though I can capture a stone here, black is successfully now cutting off my two, well, now they're two groups, but my two stones here. So, yeah, if I had just left it at this point, they're connected. But now, after this, I have two groups that are cut off. And I didn't see a good way to follow up, so I just went elsewhere. So, yeah, this was a huge mistakes by white. So black's doing very well in this game, very, very well. Black attaches on top again. Now I do the standard just hane. Black stands up. And then here. And yeah, here black does a mistake. Black just turns. Now, in general, with these kind of Josekis, you never want to do this turn. In this case, let's see. Let's say black goes elsewhere. If white tries to push and cut, the reason why you don't want to push there is after you Atari this, you can descend. And this descent is threatening R7. So let's say white tries to live on the bottom. Well, now R7 just works. There's no way for white to save these S6 stones. Cut there if white connects. Not enough liberties. Just Atari down. There's just nothing works. Right? So, since this move is Sente, and white has to fix somehow, now when black descends here, it's a lot harder for white to get anything working in the corner. Let's assume that move is not Sente. Let's assume like I do this one. Now when black blocks, now that the move is not Sente, now black just has to live in the corner somehow because black can't capture the 3. And if this move isn't Sente and black tries to block here, this move is the key spot. This is the key spot. If black descends, white hanes and white has captured. And if, again, black tries to descend, when white hanes, there's just too many weaknesses in black shapes, right? If black hanes, there's cuts here and here at O5 and N3. And white can even still go into the corner somehow. So it's just very bad for black. Now the reason why just pushing directly is okay, like leaving this, is black can just let white take the 2. And this stone at R8 is pretty overconcentrated, right? If we assume the same sort of, if we assume black's going to do this, white would never after this then do this, right? It's a little too close. So after this, white would actually probably attack this group as a whole. But going back to this, if black wants to fix some kind of weakness there, black should cut directly. And this is an asking move. So for example, if white just Ataris down, now black still gets P7 in Sente, but black has also fixed this push and cut in Sente, because if white tries to cut, well, white's taken away liberties. Now that works. So if the only other way for white to go is this way. But if this sort of thing happens, then black becomes strong enough on the outside that any fight there doesn't matter. Like if white tries this, once again, black can descend once and go this way. So black should cut directly. Or because of the aji there, black can just leave it or cut directly or anything. The one thing you do not want to do is turn here, though, because now black has fixed that cut. And if you try to give up, well, now you're not giving up 2 stones, you're giving up 3 stones. So you're giving up more. So yeah, that's why never push from that direction. And then black goes here. And then so black did it and black didn't fix. Like black could have just came back and fixed as well. But push and cut. Like this. Yep. And you might think also, okay, well, what if at this point, so while the cut doesn't work, the squeeze still works, right? And if the squeeze works, is that not good enough? Well, the problem with that is, if you try this Atari next, white will probably just ignore you, like so. So even though you can squeeze, white is going to get more on the bottom than you are on the right side. So that's why it still does, even though you can still cut and get a squeeze, white isn't going to fill in the squeeze, if you will. So black Atari's this way and then goes here. And after this, because usually you never want to Atari this way because the outside is too weak. But after this, all of black stones are working together perfectly. So if I tried this kind of move, black can just seal me in perfectly, right? If assuming this kind of thing happens, black can even cut next, like so. So that doesn't really work. If I try this one, well, then black plays here. And that pretty much seals me in. If I try this one, trying to look at the knight's move here, well, black can simply just go here. So regardless of how I play here, black's shape just is perfect. And so I see Samaji in the corner, and I'm like, okay, I got to do something with that. So I play here. And this is preparing a ko, which you'll see right now, of cutting. So I cut, and black Atari's down, and then extends. And so right now, white has 2 liberties. So any move white does needs to be directly threatening. Like I can't do this because I get Atari'd, or I get captured even. I can't Hane because I get captured. So everything I do here needs to be direct. It needs to be an Atari. And there is actually Aji here. And this is a corner Tsuji sequence, I don't know what you want to call it, that you just need to know. You just need to know. Because if you don't know this, then there's just things in this sort of corner shape that, like this would just be black's corner. But if you know this, then there's still Aji. So white can cut. Right? This is forcing. Black doesn't have time to Atari me. Okay, so that's Sente. And then play here. And again, that's forcing. That's Sente. So if black descends down, we fight this ko. And you can see if black takes the ko, I make a ko threat. Black answers, I take the ko back. Black has to extend. So you can see it's a ko like this. So it's a one-step ko for white. Conversely, if black takes, then I can Atari here. And again, black takes the ko, I make a ko threat. Black answers, I take the ko back. If black fills, then it's a huge ko. Humongous ko. So there's a ko here. Now, that's all great for white. But there's a problem with this ko for white. Is, right now black can't fill, right? Because then it gets captured. So black would like to find a way to be able to fill. And black can by cutting here. Black can cut here. If white plays here, black can squeeze and now fill. Notice black has extended his liberties. And remember, white only has 2 liberties. So white needs to keep putting things in Atari, but now you can see that white is now out of Ataris. And even if, let's say, white takes the ko here, like black would be abandoning the corner, but being able to attack the outside, the right side there. Now the other thing about this is black also has local threats. So for example, let's say black takes the ko, which he does, and then I wedge here, and then let's say black answers. When white takes here, black can also play this move as a ko threat. Now, you do need to play one more. Like if you take, oh, well then white captures. So you do need to play one more. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, maybe this is okay because you can take and white answers. Because you're alive in the corner now. You can still attack this whole group. But let's say you want to keep white separated. This pushes Sente. And then you can take back the ko. So, yeah, you have local threats. You have local threats. Even if you're not going to do the squeeze, these moves are ko threats, right? If white goes there. So basically, looking at this board, black has a lot of local threats. So when black just takes the ko, I was very happy because me splitting through here is very big. It's very, very big. And allowing me to connect, yeah, I take the whole top and black's not even alive. Now this isn't, like black still has a very strong position. My stones on the left are just floating. Black has a huge bottom. But black lost tempo by going here. Yeah, this was black's real first big mistake. Big mistake. Because not only do I get this Atari, but I can simply just connect and I've just captured J18 on a hole. Like it just gets swallowed. I don't need to spend moves on the inside. It's just swallowed. And you can see getting this Atari really hurts black's shape. Like if you imagine black was able to go here, yeah, black's shape is pretty nice. It still affects the center too. But white getting this move, oh, was so good. So good for white. And then black went here, and this was maybe not as big of a mistake, but this is also a mistake because it is just not efficient. Sure, you're protecting against the peep there, but just play something else. Sure, maybe white can peep, but you just connect. Right? It's not good enough just to play that move to take an eye. You gotta think bigger. Gotta think bigger. So then I ask another question, play at the shape point there, and black answers, and then I go turn my attention back to the lower side. And here, always remember, if your opponent is trying to connect two not alive groups, you don't have to separate them. So for example, what if black simply just goes here? Right? Like white, if white goes this way, black can still cut white off. If white goes this way, black can still hurt, or white can still keep white disconnected. So white can try moves like this, but then you just keep poking at the white shapes, right? Oh, okay, you're still going to connect? Okay, well then I'll just keep surrounding you. And you can see by surrounding, like, white is not going to be making any points this way. Any points this way. So always remember, if your opponent's in your moyos and they're kind of poking around a little bit, you don't need to go straight for the jugular. So for example, when black goes here, this is giving white what white wants. White is looking for weaknesses to look at. So if you just play solidly with moves like this, like where are the weaknesses for white to look at? None. Black's the one who's poking at white's weaknesses. So yeah. So here, even here though, I would be looking at this left side and saying, okay, that's enough for me to win, most likely. So I would just extend, which black does, and then extend again, because white still needs to live at the bottom, and it's not easy. It is not easy. And so we'll just assume this kind of move is alive. Again, I'm not entirely sure it is, because like black can make this kind of move, and then like this kind of move. Like white's not 100% alive even, but we'll just say it is. Like black can just turn his attention back to this left side. Look how big this left side is. It's huge. It's so big. So trying to keep everything actually made it worse for black. So I could extend, and then black curls, but Atari, and then extend, I have the ladder. And black's unable to Hane to prevent the ladder, because I can cut. So black has to Atari there, and then I could ladder. So yeah, what could have been black just attacking white on a hole ended up not only white connecting, but capturing stones too. So yep, black curls around. This is preventing this is a ladder breaker, so that's good. But I'm able to stand up to, now it's not a ladder anymore, it is a net. It is a net. Black goes there. And so, okay, it's a net, but I also want to protect against the ladder. So it's also a ladder still. Because even if the net works now, I get captured because black took away liberty. And then black pushes, which by itself is an okay move, but remember, black is not alive on the upper side, so I poke at the shape there. So this move might be a little slow. Again, if white goes there, like it's Gote, right? So I wouldn't be concerned for black to try to get that move. Push, and then this move. And this move is kind of crazy, to put it that way. There's a lot of Aji here for white, and a lot of bad Aji for black. And so I kind of glazed over it, but when black goes here, so this move works for now, right? If white takes, or saves, Atari, 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 Atari. So right now it's okay for black. But that means moves in the area will affect that kind of ladder. So I knew that, so I was like, okay, I'll start on the inside though. Because directly on the inside, if black just does something else, I can threaten to connect either way, is the idea. So if black descends this way, I can connect that way. Something like this. So black disconnects me with this move. I descend. Black disconnects me on that way. And then this move. Yeah, so this move is threatening to connect, of course. Can't really do much else, so black cuts. And then this move. So now we go back to the ladder. Now if black goes elsewhere, now I can connect here. And there's no way for black to actually save these stones here. So let's say black Ataris. Ataris. If black plays this one, oops, sorry, connects, or throws in, like this, black gets captured. If black plays here, white can play here, and poke, Atari, Atari, Atari. And this is actually a ladder. That favors white. Like so. So that definitely doesn't work for black. So once white got this move and this move, black has to worry about the ladder there. So black, oops, sorry. Black goes here. And this is also a slight mistake because it comes back to bite black later. Black should simply just take the stones off the board. Because while these stones are on the board, these stones have 2 liberties, these 4 black stones. So it's just best to get rid of them. And now white can cut though. White can cut and black hanes. But then when white descends, this is still threatening to capture the cutting stones. If black does something else, throw in Atari and then hane. Like this. So when I descended, black had to connect, and then I could wedge. And this is also a minor thing, but it actually ends up being a big thing, is black needs to do this one. Because now black can freely take away these liberties on white. But we'll see when black goes here, this is a big mistake because Atari, when I connect like this gives me time to play here. And why does this give me time to go here? Because right now I have 4 liberties, or this clump of white stones has 4 liberties, and these black stones have 4 liberties. So you would think, okay, white is the one who's in danger here. But because of the special scenario, it's just not the case. So if black tries to take away liberties on this side, I can bump here, and black can't hane. That's the key. So black has to go here. But when I connect, taking away a liberty, it's still sente. Because black needs to live in the corner, but then I can capture these stones. So black can't take away liberty from that side. Of course, black can't take a liberty here because it gets taken away there. So, but if black takes away liberty from this side somewhere, say here, well then the throw-in works. And then black can't connect, right? So that doesn't work for black. If black does the other one, same move, the throw-in works, and then can't connect. And this is all because black didn't... Oops, too far. Oh yeah, black didn't go here. It was all because black didn't go here. So, because of that mistake, I was able to get an extra move in here. Otherwise, I would just have to... I just have to capture in the corner, which I can. But if this happens, then black can get this move. Like, sure, I captured some points, but black still keeps the majority of the left side. But I'm able to get that move because of all the special scenarios here. So it's like all these different scenarios just happen to work out for white. So it's pretty cool. So black has to run out. And then I can play here. And we'll see this in the game, but this move worked better than I thought. And this is one of those things where if you're playing a game, if one thing works, don't just stop reading there. Like, I read that, okay, if black goes here, I can go here. Black has to take, and then I can connect underneath. Okay, that works. And then I stopped reading. But black gets to save the 2 stones. So why not see if connecting works? And it does, because I have a lot of outside liberties. Even though black gets an eye, whether black goes here or here, let's say here, I actually have enough liberties to fight this. 2 liberties, black's an Atari, so even if white fills a liberty, or black fills a liberty, when I take, gets captured. And if black takes once, it does not help, because I've captured. Same thing if black does the other way, this way. Yes. Same thing, right? Go there, I can descend. Yeah. Right, yes. So, yeah. So that's... basically, when you see this later, there's some bad Aji in white shape. So if I'm able to just capture the 2, it works a lot better. But yeah, now you can see, now I am cutting black off on one side and on the other side. And yeah, black goes here. I can squeeze here. And again, it came back to bite black. I'm able to double threat, where I'm threatening to capture these 4 stones, but if black takes, I'm able to, let's say black does all these exchanges, I'm able to not only to take away the eye, and now black has 0 eyes, and this would just be game over. So black has to go here, but then I'm able to capture. So really big, really good result for white. And I can come back and still threaten the upper right. So starting all the way back with the move here, there was just enough Aji for something like this to work. And so I was very happy I was able to find something. And when you have a situation like this, most of the time, there is usually something that works. It's very hard for let's say in this case black, for everything to hold. So yeah, going back to the game, play here, black goes there, I poke out the eye, and then clamp. And clamp is a nice move, basically saying, okay black, I'll trade, I'll give you the 2 stones, because you're already live here, so I'll just give you the 2 stones and I'll build the right side, was the idea. Black cuts. I can turn once in Sente. And then Atari. And yeah, we're just going into endgame, or so I thought. And there's one last thing, key thing to look at. Well, this is one key thing to look at. I can connect here. And you might think, oh, well, black can cut you. Keep in mind, black is not alive here, so I can Atari. That's Sente. And then Atari here. And then capture the 2. And then this would kill the upper right. And it was funny, because me and Dylan are good friends, we were chatting a little bit during the game. Quietly, of course. When I went here, he was like, huh? Like he physically said, "Huh? Am I missing something?" And then after a few seconds, he's like, "Oh yeah, I was." So then he fixed. So I was able to save those stones. Yep. So I did the connection underneath that I mentioned. Black plays there. Black takes. Yeah, black taking is to prevent. Again, I can Atari here, and then Atari here, and then go here. Now the thing with this is actually still Gote. Like you might think, oh, black loses to 4, but if black can go somewhere else, like sure I can take, but because black can take back once, it's not like black is still okay. So this would have been Gote. So I'm not sure it's big enough yet for black to take now. I'm able to push and then descend. And then this move, and this was the move I did not see in the game. And this is why letting black connect, letting black connect and me connecting on the first line is so bad. Is because I'm not alive. And that's a problem when something like this happens. So if I try all out to try to kill this, something like connecting, black can't cut, so black connects back. Let's say go here. When black goes here, now I don't have 2 eyes. And I actually don't have that many liberties either. So this would probably be Seki or just bad for white. It's hard to read this kind of scenario too, at least for me personally. So I just went with the okay, you'll live, but I'll also live. Now the way black chose to live was actually not so good, because black could have lived by going here. Because this is Sente, white needs to fix somehow. And then after this, black can live. Or black will fill first. And so the difference is black has saved the stone at J15. And that's quite a few points actually, a couple points. Whereas when I'm able to capture here, not only do I capture stone, but I also make 2 points. So yeah. So yeah, black was able to live. So that was even more so why it was bad to let black connect those 2 stones. I just didn't see it, so good on Dylan for seeing that. But I'm able to get my response on the bottom, and I can go this far because I'm threatening to cut and then cut again. So black has to connect, then connect under, and yeah, we just go to an end game. And after everything, white won by, I believe, 9.5. So definitely a pretty close game. Yeah, this was also, I guess I should mention, this was a mistake. Black can simply just go here. And even if we fill all these liberties, like, that was a bad, I'm trying to get Gote for black. Like, there's no issues here for black. Like, if white cuts, you just capture. Like, these stones can be captured anytime. So black going there was unnecessary for black. So that lost black a point. But yeah, overall, honestly, black played overall pretty good. Like, white probably made more mistakes overall, but black's mistakes cost more. Like, I wouldn't even call what happened here on the left a mistake for black. That was just so hard to see from both sides. So black played very strongly in this game. So yeah. And again, I was running a tournament, so I can't be too down on some of the moves I played, but still got to have some accountability with my moves. And yeah, we just failed Dame, and yeah, I ended up winning by 9.5. So after 2 rounds, I am now 1-1. And that was my goal, especially running the event. I wanted to be even, right? Just 2-2 record was my goal. So I'm 1-1 right now, and got 2 more rounds to go. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.